Good morning, happy Thursday, and happy 4/4 portal. I love portal days. They really give you that reminder that you're on the right track. So, whatever you're doing today, making sure that you honor yourself and you just check in. How are you doing on your alignment? What is your soul asking you to do? And can you take a little bit of time just to enjoy the energy? I know I've been speaking to a lot of people at the moment who are really feeling that betwixt and between the eclipse season at the moment. We're moved from that midpoint, which was Monday, we're moving towards that second eclipse. The energy can feel quite heavy, it can feel quite distracting, it can really affect our sleep. So just making sure you're looking after yourself, but also making sure you're not being distracted by the external, and that you are really tuning into what you need, what your physical body needs, but also what your energetic and emotional body needs. Which, excuse my voice, by the way, I forgot to say I'm having a little bit of a throat chakra upgrade at the moment, so I'm really hoping it kind of holds out for the rest of the little bit of a natter that I'm going to have with you today. But it kind of brings me on to the next topic and talking about the eclipse. Okay, so I am going to do a video on the new moon a little bit later in the week, but actually I want to talk to you a little bit about astrology. And the astrology is the dance for me of the planetary goddesses, showing us waymarkers on our ascension journey, showing us what could be the outcome. And as with ever, there's always the outcome for the highest good, and there's always the shadow side. And it's for us to choose what we embody in this lifetime. So when I look at the dance of the planetary goddesses and I'm looking at a particular placement, I am looking to see what is the messages that they are sending out to us. What are the way markers? What is the highest embodiment of this particular energy? Even when it's a tricky energy, even when we're going through a really gritty Saturn transit, how am I leaning into it? How am I learning from it? How am I going to rebirth myself and emerge as a newly upgraded person? How am I going to be my true self, my true authentic voice? How am I going to be empowered? So it's a lot of talk at the moment using astrology kind of as a crutch. So, oh yes, we're expecting this eclipse, so this and this is going to happen. Well, not necessarily, because that's their point of view. And if you're sucked into that point of view, then the likelihood of that happening is going to be huge. However, if you are really able to understand that any particular planetary placement, such as the eclipse next week, such as Venus being conjunct Neptune today in Pisces, just have to check that, they're both at 28 degrees at the moment, but also Mercury retrograde. Okay, so these are planetary placements. These are showing us particular energies, and it's up for us to fill in the details. So if you're going to expect in a Mercury retrograde all your tech to go wrong, it's kind of going to go wrong. But if you're aware that it's Mercury retrograde, that actually you're in a place where tech may go wrong, but if it does, it's okay, then it's less likely to go wrong. If you're going into meetings on Zoom with an attitude that this is going to be looked after, this is going to be absolutely fine, I'm going to say what I need to say, and I'm going to be supported in this, then that's going to happen. So we've really got to think and stop using astrology as a crutch of as the predictive crutch of what is going to happen, but to look at it as a way marker. Okay, it's showing us the points on our ascension path where a particular energy can be used for the highest good or where it can be exploited by the shadow. Then it's up to you to fill in the details. So this Mercury retrograde at the moment that we're in is for you to fill in the details. It's for you to decide whether you're going to have a good retrograde, whether you're going to have a crappy retrograde, whether it's going to be somewhere in between, or whether actually you're going to place your heart in charge and just say to your heart, to your soul, to God, to Goddess, whatever you believe in, I'm firmly trusting, I'm leaning into the energy of this transit, and I'm grateful that whatever happens is for my highest good, even if I don't understand it at the time, even if I have to work through some emotion through my body, but I'm leaning into this and I'm trusting it's going to deliver exactly what I need to be. I'm trusting that on my path at this moment in time, I am exactly where I need to be. Okay, so waymarkers on our journey. So think of it as like an artist. So this artist, the planetary artists, have placed certain blobs on a blank canvas. And you're going to go from A to B, from B to C to D. But it's up to you how you get there, and it's up to you how you colour in. What colours are you going to use? Are you going to use geometric shapes? Are you going to use patterns? You're the artist of your own life, so how you fill in the gaps is down to you. It's not down to the astrology. It's not like, oh my lord, I'm in a Saturn transit and this is going to happen, and oh, you know, you're not the victim of astrology. You are using it to really understand yourself, your patterns, your behaviors, and then you're starting to, alchemize it. And you're alchemizing it for your highest good, and you're also alchemizing it for the highest good of the collective. So what I'm going to really encourage you to do is stop looking externally for the answers. Become aware of these planetary waymarkers, and we'll always fill in a lot more detail for you. But then go inside. Go inside and really feel into the energy. Feel into what it is telling you. I've got to sneeze, sorry. What is your heart telling you? What is your heart guiding you to do? And you don't have to know the highest embodiment of a particular placement. You put your heart in charge and you ask to be guided, and you ask that every action that you're taking is embodying the highest good of that placement, is embodying the highest good of self, but also of the collective. We're really moving to a place where our choices must be made for the highest good of the collective. So today, in this 4-4 portal, or even if you're watching this in a little while's time, go inside. How are you feeling? What's going on for you? What are your emotions like at the moment? Can you spend a bit of time over this retrograde reviewing, realigning? Do you have a space to retreat? Can you really look after yourself? Rather than speaking a lot, can you listen more? Listen more to what's going on for you, and listen more to what people are telling you. And then drop it into your heart and discern whether that's your truth. So less speaking, more listening, maybe externally, but I would say a lot more internal listening. Can you stay in your own lane, not be distracted by the shiny objects, the theories, the rabbit holes that may be presented to you? And can you flow with the energy? Can you really trust that you're in the right place at the right time? You're not obsessed with the outcome, but you're trusting that the energy of Goddess, of God, Divine Source, Creator, whatever you believe in, I always say Goddess, is going to take you to where you need to be. So let's move out of external distraction in this eclipse season and move internally. Find that space, find that stillness, and really review for you what is going on. Before I leave, I have a couple of spaces left in April for birth chart readings. So if you're interested where your planetary placements are, what songs the planetary goddesses are singing for you in your personal birth chart, who you are, what makes up who you are, what shadow sides we have, but also how we can bring forth our highest and best golden potential, then I do have a few spaces left in April. Starting, I think I've got a space next week. So the link, if you're watching on Instagram, is in my bio. If you're on Facebook, it will be below, and it will be an utter pleasure to read for you, to really help you understand who you are, and then really dive into how you can really harness your highest potential. So I'm sending you so much love. My voice is just about held up. It's going to go now, and I will see you a little bit later in the weekend with a new moon video. Huge love.